Okay, why don't y'all stand right there. Ray, you and Jim stand there. Well, y'all, thank you. Thank you for coming. We have, there'll be 4 of us speaking to you today and answering questions at the end. A year ago, in April 2022, I announced that Michael Wise would serve as the acting director of the Department of Insurance when we announced the retirement of former director Ray Farmer, who is here today. He retired after 9 years of service, and I'm proud to announce today that I've selected Michael Wise to serve as the director, not acting director, but the director of the Department of Insurance. Michael has done a splendid job in his short time as acting director, and I'll be submitting his name to the Senate immediately for confirmation for the position. Michael holds a bachelor's degree in mathematics, economics from Furman, is an associate with the Casualty Actuarial Society, a member of the American Academy of Actuaries, and a recent graduate of the South Carolina Executive Institute. Mr. Wise is also a recent recipient of the American Academy of Actuaries Rising Actuary Award. He lives in Columbia with his wife, Jennifer, and their 2 children, Walt, who's 3, and Evers, who's 1. They're active members and volunteers at the Shandon Baptist Church. He started with the agency in 2009 and worked his way to the position of Deputy Director of Actuarial and Market Services before being named Acting Director. This experience has given him a deep understanding of the inner workings of the agency. He's been with the department for 14 years, and I hope we can keep him 14 more years or maybe longer. During his time as acting director, Michael has demonstrated that he is the best person to lead the agency, this very important agency. When I issued an executive order last year cracking down on shady bail bond practices that are greasing the revolving door for criminals, Mr. Wise and his team at the department issued new guidelines for the bail bond industry, warning that any violation would lead to the loss of their license. That is a serious area of South Carolina life. It must be taken very seriously, and we do. Many of you will remember Hurricane Ian came ashore in Georgetown back in September 6 months ago. Mr. Wise and his team were with me and others on the statewide response team at the Emergency Management Division Operations Center. The information and guidance that they provided homeowners and insurance companies helped expedite claims along the coast. Last year, Mr. Wise and his team continued the fight against insurance fraud with over 70 arrests focusing on accidents staged by criminal rings across our state. There's typically automobile accidents faked. And under his leadership, the department has ramped up their consumer in-person community outreach efforts with the goal of holding events in all 46 counties over the next 2 years. I have full confidence that he will continue this impressive track record and build upon the agency's efforts to protect insurance policyholders, the public interest, and the insurance marketplace. As you can see from those in attendance here, Mr. Wise comes highly recommended and has the full respect of his peers. I appreciate the fact that a number of highly qualified individuals were recommended to me for this position. It just shows the depth of talent in our state, and Michael was right at the top. In fact, earlier this year, in January, the South Carolina Alliance of Health Plans and over a dozen of South Carolina's top insurance executives recommended Mr. Wise's talents and recognized him in a joint letter to me expressing the following, quote, "We want to let you know that the excellent service and results provided by former Director Ray Farmer continue seamlessly under the stewardship of Acting Director Michael Wise. The ability to have a Deputy Director step up and provide such capable and consistent leadership is another hallmark of effective executive management and further evidence of the strength of Team South Carolina," end of quote. Many of those leaders are here today. One of them is Ray Farmer, who served the department for many years. Others include Jim Ritchie, the South Carolina Alliance of Health Plans, James DeLisio, Vice President of Government Affairs, Blue Cross Blue Shield, South Carolina, Brandon Hulko, Vice President, South Carolina Medicare and Retirement, United Healthcare, Brian Amick, VP, Vice President, Government Contracts, Molina Healthcare, Ben Twilley, Director, State Government Affairs of Cigna, Brian Cost, Senior, Director, Government Relations, Centene, Will Camp, Government External Affairs Director, Select Health, and Courtney Herring, Regional Director, CVS Health. You will remember that Mr. Farmer was elected by his peers from around the nation to serve as president of the National Association of Insurance Commissioners. Mr. Farmer's impact as president was impressive, so impressive that they in fact named the organization's highest annual award after him. Mr. Farmer, please.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you, Governor, for allowing me to be Director of the Department of Insurance for my 9 years. I enjoyed my time there, but one of our goals at the department was to recognize talent within the department when we saw it. We would recognize talent, we would develop, we would train those folks so they would be able to move on up the ladder at the Department of Insurance. Michael Wise, as the Governor said, has been at the department for over 14 years. Michael started at the entry-level position. Michael did well at every step of the way. We promoted him whenever possible. Matter of fact, Michael was one of my most trusted deputies when I left the department about this time last year. Michael's a great public servant. He has a passion for our citizens, for our consumers. He understands their needs while recognizing that the state of South Carolina needs a healthy and viable insurance marketplace, companies to do business in our state, so our consumers will have ample opportunity and options to pick the policies that they wish and be around to pay claims when called on. Governor, you've had Michael in the acting position for the last year. You've named all the accomplishments he's done. He has excelled on a day-to-day basis. Governor, you could not pick a finer individual than Michael Wise to take this position. I commend you, Governor, for this selection. Michael, I congratulate you and Jennifer.
Thank you. Jim Ritchie.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for having me down this morning, former Director Farmer and new Director Wise and Jennifer. Thank you all for being here this morning and allowing us to be a part of it. I'm Jim Ritchie. I serve as the Executive Director of the South Carolina Alliance of Health Plans. We represent all of the Medicaid MCOs and the leading health insurance companies in South Carolina. Between all of our members, we cover about 90% of all South Carolinians. We are honored a number of our members are represented here today. And Governor, under your leadership, the South Carolina Department of Insurance has delivered steady leadership in challenging times. You focused on market-based regulation, and you have a department that supports an operating environment that fosters fair competition, enables innovation, and protects the public interest effectively. And as a result of this approach, Governor, South Carolina ranks in the top 10 of all states in affordability of health care. And the premium costs in South Carolina are 19% below the national average. We appreciate the nomination of Michael Wise. As acting director, he's done an excellent job in developing the department and regulating our industry so that we can continue to keep health care affordable for all South Carolinians. He's provided seamless leadership, and the department, as the governor said, shows a great bench strength in South Carolina. We congratulate Michael on this nomination, and we're confident you'll continue to do an excellent job. And I call and urge my former colleagues in the Senate to take up this nomination quickly, to confirm him promptly so that the people of South Carolina can continue to receive great service from this administration. Thank you, Governor. Congratulations, Michael.
Mr. Wise.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor, for this opportunity. I couldn't be more excited. And thank you, Jennifer, for your support. I wouldn't be here without you. And Director Farmer, your mentorship has been incredible. As a native South Carolinian, I could not be more excited about this opportunity to continue to serve the people of our state in this capacity. At the department, our core mission is to protect consumers, ultimately. That's through solvency, resolving consumer complaints, reviewing insurance products. Everything we do goes back to the consumer and making sure that they're taken care of. And beyond that, we want to be a resource for all of our stakeholders, for the consumers, for our legislators, for our companies, our insurance agents, anybody that has that deals with insurance in any way. We want to be a resource. We want to educate. We want to provide information. We'll do data analysis and collect information from the industry and provide that in reports. We also want to maintain effective communication. We've found over the years that that has been one of the great ways in which to promote and foster a competitive and well-functioning insurance environment in the state for all lines of business. So we'll continue to partner, again, with all of our stakeholders. And with that, I'll wrap up. But again, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Are there any questions? This might be the last chance to see Ray Farmer in a while. Better ask him one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As the governor mentioned, in October, he sent a letter announcing a crackdown on shady bondsmen. Can you give an update on what that crackdown actually looked like? Were more staff assigned? And additionally, that letter called for investigations. How many investigations have been opened?
I don't have a number on the investigations, but I know that we've definitely focused more on that topic. We've taken a different stance, a little more aggressive stance with the bail bond industry, and we've had meetings. We've had good conversations with them about what the expectations are and what the requirements are, and they've responded well to that.
Have any investigations been opened?
Yes. I can't discuss any ongoing ones.
I do. I have a copy of the order that he sent out. It is, have a copy of the order that is a very thorough order to the bail bondsman, handling reports of noncompliance with bail conditions, including electronic monitoring. We can give you a copy of this. It's well prepared and is a clear, cogent, and convincing statement of the law that was sent to all of those involved. More questions? Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Mr. Wise. What have you done so far with the department that you're most proud of? And now that you're, possibly going to be director, what would you like to see the department change, or what would you like to implement while in charge?
So we've got a great staff. We've got really a lot of talent, and so we do a lot for our consumers, and we want to get out there on the ground. The governor mentioned we want to get out to all 46 counties and answer questions. So if there are any organizations out there that would like to partner with us, we're happy to come, and we'll talk about anything and everything insurance, and just let us know what they'd like to do, and that's what we'll do. So that's been a real focus over the last year, building that foundation, those relationships with those organizations, and we'd like to continue doing that.
Mr. Rice, was there anything you set out to accomplish as acting director that perhaps you were not able to, that now you're hoping to fulfill, those goals now that you are the director?
I think the big thing is the consumer outreach. It's just going to take a little bit more time, and so hopefully now we can just continue that process.
You mentioned all the things that make, South Carolina Department of Insurance good. Why are we how do we compare to other states, and why are we better than other states if we are?
Oh, I would say we're the best, but I'm a little bit biased. So we communicate. We have good relationships with all of our stakeholders. There's a balance. So ultimately, we are here to serve our consumers and the people of our state. And part of that is maintaining solvency of insurance carriers. We want to know what's going on in insurance markets. So that's a big topic of conversation internally for us. And we want to make sure that we are the first to know if at all possible. And so we have good communication with insurance agents. They have their ears to the ground on what's going on. And then also our insurance companies. They have a stake in this too. And so we certainly want to make sure that they understand what the expectations are. And they've been great partners along the way.
Just to go back to the bondsman for a moment, without speaking to a specific case, can you give an idea of what the general trend is, what kind of violations you're seeing, or what the most common type of violation is?
It varies. I don't know that there's one particular theme, but electronic monitoring is a topic, making sure that bondsmen are being responsive if they get a notification that the individual is out of the assigned area.
More questions? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Governor.